Well, I'm going to lead you down the same path I went down, sort of. So the other day when I was doing that video about famous children and famous children, and I ended up on Instagram, which I don't go to Instagram usually. Well, this person had commented, and I was right in the middle of making this video about devil stuff. And look at this. Now, obviously, I've blacked out the name, the picture, any identifying marks, but it said the devil, your enemy. I had to shut the computer and walk away for a little while. But this is just more evidence of the weird place that we're in, which I think might have something to do with the Mandela Effect. Because I found many things in this quote-unquote reality that I don't remember from the other one. We would have seen things like what I'm about to show you. Now, this was the first quote that I saw in this quote-unquote new reality, wherever we are, that really struck me as so odd. I had never heard anything about Little Richard being involved with Satanism. There's more than one of these that just kind of were like, what? We would have heard about that. So in this reality that we're in now, all the stars were Satanists, not just the Iron Maidens and the heavy metal guys, Slayer and all them. Apparently even smooth crooners were Satanists in this reality. I'm going to go through a bunch of these. I don't know a lot of these names. Some of these familiars, or some of these, however, I'm very familiar with. I've heard that one before. I saw the interview where she said it. Now, I'm going to give you some personal anecdote. This creature, I used to go to Ozfests. I loved Ozfest. I used to go to the Grateful Dead shows too. So at one Ozfest, this guy was the big name, and he flew in on a helicopter right before he took the stage, and then I think he flew out again. But I refused. I left the area while it was on stage, because even though I didn't know about this stuff yet, I felt that was pretty evil, what was going on. Now, see, this is another one where I think we would have known that Jimi Hendrix had joined the Illuminati through all of our research. But in this reality, Jimi Hendrix was part of the Illuminati, or he was a person working towards their ends, whether he meant to or not. Now, I don't know if this is a song lyric. I do appreciate these the Watchman Ministry, who have gathered all these. Now, I know that we've heard this quote. This was the other surprising quote that we had heard. It's too much, because, we grew up watching movies and listening to music. And then when you find out that they're all worshiping Satan or Baal or Moloch or whatever in the hell it is. Now, when I was a teenager, they had these Youth for Christ meetings, and I went to one because my friend said there would be cookies and soda there. And also my other friend was going, and they had a joint that we were going to burn right before the meeting. So I went, and, I went for the food and the joint, but I did listen to what they were talking about. And of course, I thought they were kind of crazy. Let's see, I think I was about 13. Yes, I must have been 13. And, you know, it was a radio show, which I have heard since, oddly enough. I've heard snippets of it on YouTube, where they played the Led Zeppelin song backwards. That Eric Clapton song, not Lolita, Layla. And they killed one side of it so that you could hear. Part of that soundtrack is a woman in orgasm, and they covered up with a bunch of other sounds. So that was the first time I heard anything about this. And then there was all the talk about Ozzy Osbourne with the bat, and, you know, bringing a box of puppies and having the crowd stamp on them. And I loved Ozzy Osbourne, so I didn't believe any of that stuff anyway. But so let's look at this window. I did a general search for lyrics that mention the devil or something like that. I don't know. And it brought me to this page. And look here, 15,495 lyrics. 22 artists have the word devil in their name, and 100 albums have the word devil in the name. And that's just on this site. Who knows how efficient this site is? So you can look through these, and I'm just saying, with this part, what I'm trying to make a point about is, you know, normal people don't just sit around talking about the devil all the time. Even religious people don't sit around talking about the devil all the time. These people have what seems to be a fascination with the devil, and if you've been doing any research, you know why. Because they made a deal with the devil. So if you're unfamiliar with this, you should really take a few minutes and watch this video, because they blatantly lay it out. James Brown has a visit with the devil, and he wants to renegotiate his contract, and the devil's like, well, you can't do anything anymore, and they get into a car race at the end. It's incredible, okay? It's incredible. And look, there's a Marilyn Manson piece in it, and, you know, like I said before, this did not exist in the reality I came from, because if it did, we would have known about this when it came out in 2002. This would have been all over. And, you know, I know you can go back now and find evidence that it was all over. But if you understand the Mandela Effect, you'll know what I'm talking about. So this guy, here we go. This guy's last name is Anger. There was a movie called Lucifer Rising, which was renamed Invocation of My Demon Brother. Mick Jagger was involved with the production and did the soundtrack for it. Anton LaVey played the devil. Anyways, this guy right here, Kenneth Anger, disciple of Aleister Crowley, he's got Lucifer across his chest. Okay, well, I'm going to be doing another video probably about Laurel Canyon, because that's a pretty big deal, and apparently a lot of other truthers still don't know this stuff. Picture I opened with, which I've already closed now, and if I try to open it, it'll stop me. So that guy's a producer. He's a music producer. The YouTube link, I followed it and I looked at it for a minute, but I didn't want to watch it because obviously it's devil shit. I believe it was a hip-hop video. I'm not positive. But that person's a music producer. And on his Instagram, it says, "The devil, your enemy." I mean, that's just weird. I mean, was that like put there for me to find? That is just so weird.